Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the return of both Sam Neill and Laura Dern in the new Jurassic World movie, and whether or not they'll be together for the final film in the trilogy. So, when it comes down to Doctors Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, a lot has changed since their first appearances in the original movie. Even though we all assumed that Grant's character arc of learning to love children would result in the two of them working out that baby problem, this ultimately did not happen in the series canon. And in its place, we actually got to see Ellie moving on and away from Grant by marrying Mark Deggler and having children with him instead. This was, of course, one of the big criticisms given to Jurassic Park 3, which was ultimately viewed as the equivalent of killing off Hicks and Newt at the beginning of Alien 3, much to the disappointment of the fans of the previous entries. But regardless of how any of us feel about that situation, the fact of the matter is that Jurassic Park 3 establishes a different relationship for Laura Dern's character to be in. And that relationship has nothing to do with Alan Grant. So, what does this mean for Jurassic World 3? And can we expect to see both of them together again in the following installment? Well, I actually think that the odds of them reforming their relationship are pretty good, especially when you consider what they've done in previous Jurassic World entries so far. But even if we just go back to JP3, we see that Grant and Ellie are still pretty good friends. They're on talking terms after all, and Mrs. Deggler has no problem with inviting Grant over to come and say hi to his old pet parrot.
Jack, say my name. Is my name Alan?
Alan!
Alan!
The big factor that's going to play into how the next movie handles their relationship the most is really how Sam Neill and Laura Dern themselves feel about it. In a recent interview that was held exclusively with Empire, Colin Trevorrow said this about the next movie's story. You start asking the most basic questions. Who are these people now? What do they make of the new world they're living in? And how do they feel about being part of its history? Ultimately, it will be in collaboration with the actors. They know and love these characters. We'll do it together. This suggests that the actual plot and exploration of who Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm are as human beings is actually going to have a lot of input from the people who are playing them. Which makes a lot of sense in my opinion, since they literally have played these characters for over 25 years now, and really their roles in Jurassic Park are most definitely some of, if not their best known roles in their entire careers. So, do Sam Neill and Laura Dern want Alan and Ellie to be together again? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Although I do think that the fan reception of their breakup in Jurassic Park 3 will definitely help shape where the two end up in the next movie as well. If they theoretically don't wind up together in the final film, I can see it being a little underwhelming for those of us who thought that they were always supposed to after seeing JP1. I've always felt like the promise at the end of Jurassic Park was that Alan Grant's development with learning to love breeding and taking care of a life lesser than his own was really a big step towards improving his relationship with Ellie. The chaotician rock star Ian Malcolm was pretty much always trying to steal his girl, and he loved kids. That sort of dichotomy between these two characters was done on purpose. Grant is vulnerable in that regard as far as his relationship with Sattler goes. There were more compatible people out there for her if she saw fit. That is, until Alan lit the flare and risked his own life to save Lex and Tim.
I'm gonna look after you, but I have to go help you, brother. So I want you to stay right here and wait for me.
He left us! He left us!
But that's not what I'm gonna do.
Now look, another one of the reasons people had a lot of issues with JP3's interpretation of Ellie and Alan's relationship was because we don't ever really get to see why the two of them broke up. In fact, to this day, we don't have any sort of idea as to what happened between these two that would cause them to drift so far apart. In my opinion, if they actually gave us a reason as to why this happened, it would really go a long way with fans and maybe even warm some people up to Jurassic Park 3. A really good way that I think they could do this is by implementing something from the 1990s Jurassic Park comic books into the new story. For those of you who don't know, back in the day, they actually made a little sequel about trained raptors on the mainland in 1993. And in that sequel, Ian Malcolm chose to continue pursuing Ellie Sattler after he had learned that she was with Alan Grant. Now, Dr. Sattler refuses his advances for the most part, up until the last few issues of the comic, where this happens. With the return of all three of these central characters in the Jurassic Park franchise coming to a head in the next movie, I really think it would be a smart idea to explore what came between Alan and Ellie in the past. Whether or not they choose to incorporate Ian Malcolm into that relationship, I have no idea, but again, it would be cool for Jurassic Park superfans like myself who've been following this stuff forever. Ultimately, it's up to Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Emily Carmichael, and Colin Trevorrow to decide in the next movie. What they'll come up with is anybody's guess, but one thing is for certain, we will see all three of the original Jurassic Park actors in major roles alongside Owen Grady, my favorite new character, and Claire Dearing. Now, with that being said, I'd love to give this question to all of you guys and see what you think of it. Do any of you think that Alan and Ellie will be together in Jurassic World 3, or do you think they won't? Also, do you think that should or shouldn't be? Believe it or not, I know a few people who don't want them to be together in the next movie. So yeah, let me know where you stand. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts on the subject in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my engine executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and engine hunters as well. It really means the world to me that all of you guys enjoy what I do so much, and I'm extremely thankful to have all of your incredible support. Now I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's video and hope you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. See you all in the next one, guys, and as always, take it easy.